Hello, good morning. It's Sunday and it's February the 19th, 2022. I'm Ben Shatliff and this is Ben Shatliff on Sunday. I hope that everybody is well and I hope that everybody has survived Storm Eunice, which of course battered through England and, well, all of the British Isles on Friday and also parts of yesterday as well. And as we speak, Storm Franklin is set to hit Greater Manchester at some stage today, as well as other parts of the United Kingdom. Before we go into the big conversation, which of course is regarding Russia and Ukraine, I'm going to give you my personal thoughts on the issue in a few moments' time. And we'll also be discussing about the fact that self-isolation rules are going to be coming to an end in a few days' time as well. Before that, though, let's just take a look at some of the other stories which are making the news on this Sunday lunchtime. One of the Conservative ministers is saying that the Prime Minister Boris Johnson shouldn't resign even if they broke coronavirus rules. That has been released this morning. There's also a passenger missing after a ferry fire after a blaze off the coast of Corfu. You can actually see some of those pictures there. Getting this from the Sky News app on the iPad. Let's just hope that everybody is indeed okay there. And also, of course, a Russian diplomat is actually mocking the UK intelligence. And there's also another case here about Vicky Wright, how the nurse who worked on the COVID front line became an Olympic curling champion. So that's absolutely fantastic news there as well. Right, okay. Two big stories. First of all, we'll talk about COVID because, of course, COVID rules are going to be coming to an end from Thursday if all goes according to plan, providing all the latest data and everything else. But it was kind of leaked last night that even self-isolation will be coming to an end as well after Thursday. So if you test positive over the coming days, once it gets to Thursday, if you test positive, you may not need to self-isolate. Everything will all officially be confirmed by the Prime Minister or the Health Secretary either tomorrow or on Tuesday. So that means then that normality is definitely back in place. Anyone that says getting back to a bit of normality or anyone that says the new normal, that's all ended. Normal is back. There's no ifs or buts about that. We've had normality for quite some time. Okay, we may be having to wear face coverings in certain places, but you can still go about everything else. You can meet your family, you can meet your friends, you can go to the cinema, you can go for a drink, you can go for a meal, you can go to the gym. Okay, I've not done that. The last time I did that, every gym in the world closed down. That just happened to be coincidental. But the fact is that everything that we were able to do prior to March the 23rd or prior to just slightly earlier than that in 2020, we are now able to do again. Everybody, of course, can be cautious, but at the same time, it's important that everybody lives and leads their lives in the very best way that they can, so they can lead them normally, get on with their lives and enjoy them. After all, that is what we are all here for. So my own personal view, if they feel now that those restrictions that we've had in the past regarding self-isolation, if they feel that we do not need to do them and everything's all been looked at in the right way, then who are we to argue? We've got to get on with our lives. There's been too much which has been missed. Let's think about our young ones, all the schooling that's been missed and everything else over the last 2 years. And I know that from personal experience with my two nephews. A lot of times that they've had to self-isolate, of course, recently they themselves have both had COVID, but thankfully are indeed both okay. Right, so that is it as far as the COVID bubble is concerned. I've been talking about it now for 2 years. If it erupts again in any way, shape, or form, we will talk about it. But I did say quite some time ago that I would move away from COVID on my on these broadcasts, which I do, and I have been doing that over recent months and recent weeks, various different stuff. So that's it. As I said on Wednesday evening when I did a live via Facebook, That was the first anniversary as from when I myself tested positive for COVID. Just wanted to reflect on it but not dwell on it. It's now one and truly time for us all to lead our lives. But let's not forget the sacrifices of those who helped everybody through the pandemic. But most importantly, let's not forget the ones that we've all lost during COVID-19 as well. As we move out of the pandemic, we now look ahead to what's happening in Ukraine. Over the last week, I've not been 100% myself, so I've actually spent time at home more than what I potentially ordinarily would do. And I've been watching a lot of the news of what's been going on. And as each day goes on, you're thinking, is something going to happen? Is something not going to happen? Are things easing? Are things not going to ease? I, like many others, would not like to see any conflict at all whatsoever taking place between Russia and Ukraine. The tragedy is, it's already started happening. It started happening in 2014. There's been all kinds of other stuff which has been going on since then. Plus, there's already been bullets fired on a whole variety of things yesterday and possibly also today as well with various different stuff. So the fact is that whatever is going on in the mind of Vladimir Putin, it's affecting everybody in Ukraine, but it's affecting everybody around the world because nobody knows what is going to happen next. So as I say, nobody wants any kind of military action. Nobody wants any conflict. After all, everybody's been through COVID and a whole variety of other stuff over recent years, terrorism in different parts of the world as well, Europe and all over the world. Nobody wants to be thinking of any kind of military action going on anywhere. But the tragedy is, and the point is, and this is my own personal view which I'm giving here, if Vladimir Putin does go into Ukraine and attacks and does all kinds of anything at all which disturbs the peace of Ukraine, then our world leaders around Europe, Prime Minister Boris Johnson, who I have condemned, but the way he's acted in this, nobody can condemn during a war scenario. President Joe Biden, who I thought spoke very, very well on Tuesday evening as well, then, if they need to do something to try and stop Vladimir Putin, then Vladimir Putin has brought this upon himself. And as Boris said yesterday, he said nobody wants to have to do anything. He also said that everybody feels for the ordinary Russian people. That's the problem. That happens in any kind of a conflict whatsoever when you think of history. It's like when you think of the Second World War, I do not think of the ordinary German people, the ordinary German city, the ordinary German soldier, the old guard as being the enemy. I do not think of that in any way, shape or form. To me, it's the Gestapo, the Nazis, the ones that murdered the Jews and murdered many, many others. They're the ones who I think of the enemy. People like Field Marshal Rommel, they just did what they thought was right for their country, and also at the same time took part in the assassination plot against Adolf Hitler. So no, the German old guard, they did what they thought was right. So and it's the same in Russia. There'll be a lot of ordinary, probably 90% or 99% of the ordinary Russian people do not want any kind of conflict going on at all whatsoever. Those figures might be slightly exaggerated, but I'm just trying to raise the point that the enemy is not always everybody involved in that specific country. It never would be. It's the people that run these countries that cause the problems. Just as the people in Russia might think, well, what's going on in Britain? You've got all kinds of stuff going on. So it's everything works in the same kind of way. So my own personal view is that if Putin goes into Ukraine and attacks, then yes, they deserve the sanctions and they deserve whatever they will get from the allies of the West. And I will say the same in regards to China as well, because obviously China are making threats as well. But why have threats? Why not have some kind of humanity where everybody is actually doing what they can to actually help one another? So why on earth do China want to invade and try and take over Taiwan again? The Americans and other countries will not in any way, shape or form take anything like that lightly. So China would also deserve whatever consequences are given in that scenario as well. But like I say, let's hope in one shape or form that all of any kind of action is going to be avoided. It doesn't look like it will be, to be perfectly honest, but let's just hope that the common sense some prevails in these scenarios, and these people an Ebenezer Scrooge moment where they're suddenly visited by the ghost of past, present, and yet to come, and are told about what their actions could very easily be for the future and what it means for them. But there's also another way as well. The people of Russia and the people of China could turn against their leaders. And that way, there's no problems at all in terms of any world action. It's dealt with by the people in their own countries. Right, okay, and let's try and boost the thought today. It's okay, we've got the candles and the lights behind and various different things like that. Let's try and wish everybody a very, very good week ahead in one way, shape, or form. If anything does develop on the international front, then I'll be providing news updates most evenings, but I'm also going to be trialing a full week of doing something at 8 o'clock in the evening. Whether this week I'll be letting you know when that is going to be happening. So we'll try and do more with Ben Shatliff online. Next week, we'll be preparing to go to Lent, which means that I'll be preparing to go to it, which I hope this year I will be able to go ahead with. That was stopped on the last previous 2 years. We'll give you more news on that. And we'll also be having some special topics that we'll be discussing over weeks as well. Some of them that some may find a little bit controversial. But we'll see everybody soon. Take care and enjoy the day.